Okay, can we take some piece of paper and arrange your chairs before you take a seat? Okay, sit down properly. So, who are absent today?
Jane.
Okay. Now, before we go through to our lesson, let us review our past lesson, okay? So what was our topic last week? Figurative speech. That's right. So today is, before we go through to our topic, I will show you several pictures and I want you to analyze and give your idea about what you have seen. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is this? It is a plants, a walking plants. So what do you think? What do you think plants walk? Yes, that's right. Plants walk when the roots are unable to supply a sufficient moisture to the stem or leaves. Okay? So what do you think it needs?
Water.
That's right. It needs a water. What else?
Sunlight.
Sunlight. What else?
Plant process.
Yes, you got it right. So I have a picture of a sun here. So what do you think the rule of the sun?
Gives light.
Yes, gives light. So the rule of the sun is to support the plants. So the plants absorb the energy of the sun to live or to grow. Okay?
Yes.
So my science in elementary 1 said, the more light a plant is exposed to, the more energy it will create and the faster it will grow. Therefore, the plants depend on the sun to live, while the plants can be independent without the presence of the plants. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, now I'm learning grammar. What do you think that can be independent and dependent?
Losses.
That's right, the clauses. And it's time. So today we are going to tackle the two main types of clauses. So we are going to tackle the two main types of clauses. But before that, let's have an activity first, okay? So I will group you into two groups. So this would be the group 1 and group 2. All you have to do is to arrange the jumbled words and form them into a sentence. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this for group 1 and group 2. And after this, you are going to paste the sentence on the board. Okay? So the first group that can finish the activity in 10 seconds will have a plus point from you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first group finished the activity. So give them a round of applause. And also the group 2, give them a round of applause. So what have you
of both a subject and a predicate with a main verb.
That's right. So clause, it is a grammatical unit which consists of both subject and a verb. Okay? So when we say subject, it is a person or thing that's doing something or being something. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
When we say verb, it is an action word in a sentence. Okay?
Yes.
So clause has two types, and these are the independent clause and
Dependent clause.
So let us go first the independent clause. So what is independent clause?
Contains at least a subject and a verb. It conveys a complete thought.
She sings.
Okay. Independent clause are also known as main clause. So when we say independent clause, these are the clauses that can stand alone as a complete sentence. So if it is a complete sentence, then of course it is independent clause. So if it is independent clause, then it is a complete sentence. For example, she sings. So where is the verb?
Sings.
Sings. Who performs the
She.
She. So next is Lucy snored. So the subject is
Lucy
and the verb is
snored.
That's right. The children played at the park. So where is the subject?
Children
How about the verb?
played.
That's right. So always do remember that independent clause, it always starts with a capital letter and ends with a
Period.
Am I clear?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
have any clarification about the independent clause?
No.
Okay, so we'll jump onto the another clause, which is the dependent clause. So what is dependent clause? Can you read?
Contains at least a subject and a verb, but it is not a complete thought.
Very good. So dependent clause, or also known as subordinate clauses, are clauses that cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Meaning, it is not a complete sentence. Okay? So it also contains, like the independent clause, it also contains the subject and the verb. But the difference between the two, it does not convey or express a complete thought. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So for more information about the dependent clause, always keep in your mind that dependent clause starts with a subordinate conjunctions, subordinators, or dependent marker. Okay? So subordinate conjunctions are
Since, when, because, so, that, after, and etc.
That's good. So can you read the examples?
When the rain fell, while she's sleeping.
That's good. So do you think that this example convey a complete thought?
No.
No at all. It doesn't make sense because dependent clause depend on the independent clauses. So without independent clause, dependent clauses is just a sentence fragment. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have any clarification between the do you have any clarification about dependent clauses?
No.
No. So if we are going to combine the two clauses, so the sentence will be called complex sentence. So complex sentence contains at least one independent clause and dependent clause joined by a subordinating conjunctions. For examples, can you read?
I love playing
So
basketball.
where is the dependent clause here?
I love playing basketball.
When I was a child,
That's right. How about the independent clause?
I love playing basketball.
Where is the subordinating conjunction used? When is the subordinating conjunction? Always remember that dependent clause always start with a subordinating conjunction. Okay. Okay. So, if a sentence begins with a dependent clause, note the comma after this. Okay? This punctuation is a comma, or we can call comma splice, meaning connection point between the two clauses to
another
give a
clause.
complete meaning. So next example, please. Can you read?
She was frustrated because she was late for work.
So where is the independent clause? She was frustrated. How about the independent
was late for work.
Because he was
Because
late
he was
for
late
work.
for work.
So what is the subordinating conjunction?
Because.
Because. That's right. So how about the number 3, please?
Some went to the park after he finished school.
So what is the independent here?
Some
went to the park. Some went to the park. How about the dependent clause?
After he finished school.
Very good. So now, did you listen to my discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good to hear. So, since we are done discussing the lesson, so we are going to have an activity, okay? So our activity is, I will group you into 4 groups, okay? So this, 3 groups rather. So this will be the group 1, group 2, group 3, okay? So each group has a different task to do. Okay, for group 1, you are going to share your understanding and by comparing and constructing with the use of Venn diagram. Okay, you're going to compare the independent and dependent clause. And for group 2, you are going to write in 1 paragraph why do plants need sunlight or water. Okay, with the use of independent and dependent clause.
Yes.
Am I clear? So next is for group 3. You are going to read a short story entitled Better Luck Next Time. And you are going to write a reflection paper with the use of independent and dependent clause. So I already attached the rubrics together with your performances. Just read to be guided. Okay? Am I clear?
Yes.
So I will only give you 1 minute to do the task. Okay? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow! It's so very nice performance! I was so impressed by the performance of each group. So can you give yourself a round of applause? Okay, thank you for the efforts. I am so beyond grateful. So do you want to know the scores?
Yes,
Of
ma'am.
course, all of you got the perfect score.
Wow.
Okay. So now, since we are done executing our performance, then let's receive the assessment. Okay?
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here's our assessment. Can you get a 1/4 sheet of paper? Okay, the direction, write your name with the underlined group of words is an independent clause. Write your surname if it is a dependent clause. Okay? So I will only give you 2 minutes to answer. Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's check your works. Okay. For number 1, we visited the seashore when we went to California. So what is the clause in the underlined word? We visited
Independent.
the seashore. It is a
Independent clause.
independent clause. Okay. Next, after we walk on the beach. So what is this?
Independent.
Yes, because of after.
The word after.
After is the
Subordinating.
Very good. Next, although the sun was warm, I shivered with cold. So I shivered with cold is a independent.
Independent.
Yes? Right. Next, the water seemed even colder because our skin was hot. So what is the
Dependent.
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 Yes, dependent clause. Dependent clause because of
Because.
So if you look out, you can see dolphins swimming. So it is a independent. Dependent. Very good. What? An independent man. F. It is a subordinating conjunction. They leap out of the water as if they are playing. So it is
Independent.
Right. While I was resting in the sun, I spied something. So I spied something is independent. When I looked through binoculars, I saw sails. Dependent. Very good. Dependent. As I watched, some of the sleeves into the water. Okay, take a note of our assignment. Okay, our assignment is
5 independent clauses and 5 that combines both clauses. Write it on a whole sheet of paper. Pass it next meeting.
Okay, so please stand up for our closing prayer.